What is going on, YouTube? It is Randy Talks Mets in the building, and this video is going to be about the Mets and the Phillies. We're going to get into, the recap, what happened. But game one of the series was a big game. But leave a like, comment, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Let's get into the video, guys. But push those notifications before I get into the video. But yeah, let's get into the video, guys. Definitely was a big game for the New York Mets versus the Phillies. Coming after the loss for the Nationals. The Mets needed to, get on the right foot in the series and win some games. And honestly, it was looking really good in the first inning. The Mets scored a lot of runs. They scored 3 runs. Pete Alonso hit a grounds out, RBI. So, they did their things to tack on runs. Eduardo Escobar singled. It was an opposite field single. And, he got the RBI. And then, honestly, Mark Canha also got a bloop RBI single as well. So the Mets were already off to the right foot in this series. 3-0, 3-0. And that was a great start. Taijuan Walker had 2 great innings. Looked really good. His breaking pitches looked really good. His fastball looked good. I like what I saw from Taijuan Walker. But honestly, it sucked because Taijuan Walker had to come out of, with injury. And honestly, Taijuan Walker was not going to go like 7+ innings because of, obviously his health and the spring training and the limited spring training. So they had an idea that they was going to get probably like 5 innings from Taijuan Walker, maybe 4 point something, and bring in David Peterson. But, it honestly, Taijuan Walker, he had his shoulder was irritated and he had to come out. So, he got an MRI today. And, he says all is good. He said all is good on Twitter. So I don't know exactly what that means, but I think it's good news that, Taijuan Walker got an MRI today and he's not saying, oh, sorry, guys, it's going to be bad. He said it's all good. So, hopefully it's good news with Taijuan Walker, but I'll definitely let you guys know in the next video. But definitely, guys, David Peterson came in, to relieve him. He came from the AAA. And, he got called up when Edwin Diaz went on the bereavement list because of his grandfather's, passing away. So the Mets need pitching, and David Peterson was right there. And he pitched pretty good, 3-point-something innings, didn't allow 1 run. David Peterson pitched really good. And honestly, the Mets just didn't score a lot of more runs, guys. And the Phillies, they just weren't scoring runs at all. They weren't doing nothing. The Mets looked like they was taking this game. They was going to shut out this team. And the thing about the Mets and the Phillies ballpark, Citizens Bank ballpark is so hard to get a shutout. Honestly, they haven't had a shutout since 2017. It's a really hard place to get a shutout. And obviously, the person that, did the shutout for the Phillies, for the Mets, in Citizens Bank Park was Jacob deGrom. And, you can't get a Jacob deGrom every day. So, the Mets tacked on a run in the top of the 7th inning. James McCann was on first base. And, he stole first base. He went to second base. And that was really good from him. And, Francisco Lindor, with 1 out. Francisco Lindor, he pulled the ball and he hit it past the second baseman. And James McCann scored on a throw from Bryce Harper. So, honestly, guys, the Mets were up 4-0. 4-0 after the 7th inning. And then comes the bottom of the 8th inning. And honestly, Trevor May pitched pretty good. Didn't allow a run. But then, in the 7th inning, he pitched pretty good. But then they brought him back in the 8th, to pitch. And, he had to come out with an injury. He walked the guy. It was a leadoff walk, and he walked. Yeah, he walked Alec Bohm. So it was a sucky injury for, Trevor May, honestly. Because, we don't know exactly what happened with Trevor May yet. But all we know right now is Taijuan Walker, he says he's good. So we'll see from there, how it goes. But honestly, it was crazy to see that happened. And, yeah, they brought in Seth Lugo. And Seth Lugo, Buck Showalter is learning how to use Seth Lugo and, in ways. And, the commentary team was talking about, last year, they couldn't use Seth Lugo back-to-back. But Buck Showalter said basically you can use Seth Lugo back-to-back. You just can't use him for multiple innings. So, they brought in Seth Lugo to close the game basically because, it was already a 4-1 game because, Rhys Hoskins hit an RBI double. Seth Lugo came into the game and it was a safe situation. And no, actually, sorry. Joely Rodriguez came into the game after Trevor May, and he ended up giving what is it called, JT Realmuto, a 2-run homer. So the Phillies, already got 3 runs. It was a 2-run homer. So yeah, JT Realmuto hit a 2-run homer. It was 4-3. And Seth Lugo, came in to close it, and he looked off, guy. Seth Lugo was not getting his curveball. He wasn't getting his slider over. His fastball looked mediocre. So, it sucked to see that Seth Lugo, didn't have a really good outing. And, what is it called? Didi Gregorius got the leading hit. And yeah, guys, the Phillies ended up winning 5-4. Honestly, the Mets just didn't tack on runs. And it looked really, really bad, honestly, because, the Mets, to win games, guys, you got to tack on runs. You got to do what you can to tack on runs, but the bullpen has to perform. So, without Edwin Diaz, it makes the bullpen weaker, and you don't want to see that from a bullpen, honestly. So, we'll see what happens, guys, in the next game, game 2. But honestly, guys, let me know what you guys thought about game 1. How do you feel about David Peterson? How do you feel about Taijuan Walker? How do you feel about Seth Lugo? I feel like, honestly, Seth Lugo, he just has to work on getting that curveball over. Seth Lugo has one of the best curveballs in all of baseball. So he just has to get that curveball over, and, maybe pitch inside. I saw last night that Seth Lugo was pitching, in the middle. You got to move the fastball around. You can't just keep the fastball in the middle, because these are major league hitters, guys. These guys are going to hit the ball, whether you like it or not. And, Seth Lugo, if he's not getting his slider over or his curveball over, then come on. Try to pitch the fastball. Try to pitch inside. Try to pitch outside. Try to do something different. You can't stay with the same, strategy that you just had, because obviously, if you get the curveball over, if Seth Lugo gets the curveball over and the slider over, it makes the fastball, better. Obviously, the hitter doesn't see the fastball coming as well, because they're predicting that curveball. So if you're not getting the fastball, you're not getting the curveball or that slider over, you got to move the fastball around, to be honest. But yeah, guys, let me know what you guys thought about the game. Honestly, I felt like it was a really, really good game. Pitched really good. Taijuan Walker looked really impressive. He said he's good, so hopefully he can make his next start. But if not, then he can make his other start. But yeah, pitching is so important to the team, guys. David Peterson looked good, so we'll see what happens, in the next game. But definitely, guys, leave a like, comment, subscribe if you're new to the channel. You know what I'm saying? We are past 300 subscribers, so I just want to thank you guys so much for 300 subscribers. I'm going to make a separate video for that, but definitely, guys, thank you so much. And I always want to end my videos with telling you guys you can do anything that you want to do in your life. Don't let anyone stop you. And yeah, guys, stay blessed. Love you guys. This has been Randy Talks Mets, and I'm out of here.